Gamers, we're back and we're about to do everything you need to know about House of Lancaster, which is one of the new DLC civilizations. Now, House of Lancaster is an English variant civ, but the devs are taking a different approach, and I had an interview with one of the lead developer, Frank, aka Winston, and basically they're taking a different approach with variant civilizations. So variant civs in the future, I'm assuming, are not going to be like French to JD. They're going to be a variant civ, just kind of telling a different story or having a playable civilization in the game that wasn't really a civilization in history. It was like a order or a group or armies or whatever else. That being said, House of Lancaster is an English variant, but there's only two things that it shares with English, and that is ships are 10% cheaper to produce. That is number one. And number two is villagers wield short bows when attacking enemy units. So even the landmarks that they have, they are different from the English landmarks. Like there is Abbey of Kings, but it does a completely different thing. So we're gonna go into the game and I'm gonna show you literally every single bonus for House of Lancaster, every single unit, every single building, to make sure you guys know what's up. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open technology tree. So House of Lancaster is a 1 difficulty civ, and I can confirm it's pretty straightforward. It's not really complicated. It's plays somewhat similar to English, but it's also somewhat close to like Malin and Ottoman, and you'll see why in just a little bit. Emerges as a powerful branch of English royalty. Manors are the backbone of the economy by providing sustainable economics. Civilization bonuses. So number one thing, villagers from House of Lancaster gather from sheep 25% faster, which means that when you start the game, you only need 6 villagers on sheep, not 7 like every other civ. If you put 7, you will actually be getting way too much food and it's not going to work out. So 6 on food. Now, another thing connected to sheep is they have town centers spawn 4 sheep when built. So every town center you make, doesn't matter at what point in the game, you will spawn 4 sheep when the town center finishes. And not only that, your starting TC also gives you 4 extra sheep. So House of Lancaster starts with 9 sheep, not just 5 like every other civilization. Build manors to passively generate food and wood. This is their economy building that I will be showing you guys in-game with more details. Every time you construct a keep, it gives you 3 free Earl's Guards when built. Earl's Guards are their men-at-arms that are unique, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. Active keeps improve the damage of Earl's Guards and Demi-Lancers. Demi-Lancers are another unique unit from House of Lancaster. I think they have 4 or 5 unique units total. So I'll show you guys those too. And then villagers and ships are cheaper to produce. So cheats allowed. So let's get into it. Now, playstyle of this civ is, I would say, a mix of English, Malian, JD, and Ottoman. So they do have short bows. Over here, you see the manor count, how many manors you can have, which is their economy building, and this is Lord of Lancaster's count. That is one of their unique landmarks, and I'm going to show you both of the landmarks to make sure you guys know what's up. I'm going to build a dock as well. I'm going to build a barracks right here, as we always do. I'm going to build a bunch of houses. So in the economy, or in the mill, they have same upgrades as every civilization. Nothing is new, nothing has changed. I just upgraded wheelbarrow, so we're not missing wheelbarrow. We have lumber camp, and we have mining camp. And again, those are the same as every other civilization. Nothing changes there. In the docks, we have Carrack, like English does. And some of the other civilization. Obviously, it's 10% discounted, and they do share this thing with English as well, which is Admiralty upgrade, which gives your combat ships +1 range. So on water, that's pretty much it as far as there is to them. Nothing crazy or nothing super unique. That's it. Now, we're gonna age up, and the first thing is we have Abbey of Kings and Lancaster Castle, which they are both unique compared to English landmarks. This is obviously a completely new landmark, and Abbey of Kings is Abbey of Kings, but it works differently. Now I'm going to show you Abbey first, and then we're going to remake. Actually, no, I'm going to show you Lancaster first, and then we're going to remake and show you Abbey of Kings and what it does. So this is an interesting one. Lancaster Castle is a keep landmark, but you cannot garrison inside of it, okay? So the way you want to put it is you want to put it somewhere to protect your resources. So you can do some interesting stuff. Like let's say you want to protect your stone. You want to gather stone and you want to protect these deer. Let's say this is a real game. Let's say I don't have these buildings right here. So we'll destroy those. And you want to, this is your base, this is stone, and you want to gather some stone from manors. So what you can do is you can put a Lancaster Castle like right here, right? And I'll show you why in a second. So this way you can protect deer, stone, gold, and wood here. Now what this landmark does is, like I said, it's a keep. You cannot garrison in it, so there's no garrison space. So you have to be careful about that. What it does is very interesting. So first thing is generates influence that grants nearby manors 500 health and an arrow slit in placement. So you see this area right here. If you build manors there, they will get bonus HP and they're gonna kind of be like towers as well. So that's very important to know. And this is why you kind of want to build this a bit forward, a bit out there, so that you can also construct manors. So now if I'm on deer here, like if my mill is here, what I can do is I can build a manor all the way here, right? It's still in the influence. And now this manor has an arrow slit attack. So not only I can gather, there's a keep here, but this manor will also shoot. So I can even put a second one. And basically you have two towers that have 1,250 health. So if the enemy attacks you or something, you can see the manors have arrow slit upgrades. So this is only with this landmark. If you go the other landmark, manors will not have 500 extra HP and they will not have arrow slits, okay? So just something to consider. And obviously if you lose these, it's pretty bad. Now what are manors? Manors are a new building. What they do is they give you 45 wood and 70 food per minute, which is pretty much equivalent to 3 workers. And also increases your max population by 10. And because we're building in the influence, it has extra HP and arrow slit. Now, you can only build 3 manors. Now, what you can do again is you can build another manor over here, so that if you gather gold here, you have an arrow slit building that's kind of protecting you as well. So there's a very cool ways you can use manors to kind of protect your eco further and kind of expand your base very, very fast. Now, I see the question in the chat, can you garrison inside of them? You cannot. So there is no garrison inside of the buildings, okay? You cannot garrison in a manor, and you cannot garrison in the keep either. So that's something to have in mind. Next thing. So these guys are going to give you passive income. So right now I'm getting 45 wood and 70 food per minute from each one of these. Now there's an upgrade right here. Condensed land practices, advances in feudal land distribution practices, increase the feudal limit of manors by 3 and their health by 200. So if I upgrade this, that costs 100 to wood, 250 gold, I can build 3 more manors whenever I want. And you can also do some cool stuff, like you can build a bunch of manors like this, and then you can build farmland so they kind of protect your farms as well. Now, these manors obviously have a lot of health, but have in mind, if you put these manors too far forward like this, the enemy can just come and ram them and you lose a lot, because these cost 200 wood, 100 stone. So basically, having 2.5 manors is like having a town center, right? Not even 2.5. It's a bit 2.3, 2.4 manors is basically like a town center. So you cannot put them too far out, but you can use them to protect your base and all the good stuff. One of the strategies that I've seen very common when I played House of Lancaster is people mine stone, put the Lancaster Castle there, and then protect the surroundings with manors. Now, another interesting thing about Lancaster's Castle landmark is they have this activation abilities. This is feudal activation ability. This gets unlocked in castle. This gets unlocked in Imperial. Now, the way it works is you recruit 2 units, 2 demi-lancers, and plus 1 demi-lancer for each manor that you have. Okay? So, you can only do this, this one, you know, when you age up. This one is once you get castle. This one is once you get Imperial. But I think you can get this one later. Like, you could technically get these in Imperial, but you know. So there's a cool thing that you can do, which is you can go to this landmark, build 3 manors, and then build this. And this takes, I think, 30 seconds to come out. And basically what ends up happening is this. You build them, and demi-lancers come out. Now, you get 2, and I got 1 extra for each manor. Okay, so I got 8 in total. These are unique units. These are not their knights. And you cannot accumulate them. You cannot use this again. It's a one-time thing. And it costs 100 food and 250 gold, if I saw correctly. So what are demi-lancers? Demi-lancers are heavy melee cavalry. They look OP, but let's look at the stats. 2-2 armor, 140 health. Grants 1 damage for each active keep, which we do not have any right now. They have 8 attack. 8. Can you zoom in? Of course. They have 8 attack, which is very little. Very little. Horsemen have more attack, don't they? Or same attack? And they have a lot lance charge. So they are kind of like super budget knights, right? Do they charge? Yes, they do. So they have a lance attack, so they do charge. But they do very little damage, guys. 8 damage is not a lot. So in order to get these out, you need quite a bit of setup, okay? You need first to get, if you want to build them in feudal, I think waiting for 6 or 9 manors to build these guys, you kind of lose a lot of value. So realistically, what you want to do is either summon them immediately when you age up, or build 3 manors and then summon it, because you get 5 demi-lancers in that way, and then you can go around and harass. These guys are not going to go around and kill every villager. I mean, 16 damage per charge. So if these guys, 2 of them, if they charge, that's 32 damage, and they both auto-attack on a villager, they will not even kill the villager, okay? Demi-lancers. Okay, so they will not even kill the villager if they charge and auto-attack same villager. So have that in mind. How many manors can you build? You can build 9 total, and as you can see, you can upgrade all the way to 9 in feudal age. Now, manors are very good income, don't get me wrong, but they are expensive. They're 300 resources each. So if you build 6 manors, that's basically the cost of an age up, okay? So I'm going to build more manors just so you guys can see what we're dealing with right now. There we go. And we're going to wait a little bit so you guys can see how much income that is. Another upgrade that has is scoutage. Is this supposed to be scoutage and scoutage? Because it's, you know, I don't know. A Lord of Lancaster levies a tax on all vessels to fund war efforts. Manors generate 40 gold per minute, which means that if you have 9 manors, you will be getting 360 gold per minute, which is, and this is only in Imperial, which is good, but let's just say other civs have way better passive incomes. But it doesn't mean it's a bad one. It's still a very good one. But other civs have way crazier passive gold incomes, especially in Imperial. Even English, you could have gotten up to like 500-600 gold per minute with just farms. This is capping at 360. Once again, when we build a town center, you spawn 4 sheep. So it doesn't matter how many town centers you build, every town center will spawn 4 sheep, and they each have 800 food total, right? So 200 food each. So, there we go. Alright, next thing. Farms and mills. Even though this is an English variant, it does not give you any, there's no influence around the farms, okay? There is absolutely no influence. There's no, your farms gather faster around the mill, none of that, okay? So, and also your farms cost 75 wood. So they do not, they're not cheaper, they do not give you gold, there's no enclosures, and you do not get extra gathering bonus. So, one thing that's very weird, and you guys will see when you start playing and when you see more games, it is very weird seeing English building layout and seeing this. Seeing this. When I was playing against devs, my brain was so triggered because I was like, oh god. Because I kept thinking like, you need to put those around mill, because I'm so used to playing against English, but that's how you are supposed to build with House of Lancaster, so have that in mind. You do not need to have mill around those farms for them to get any kind of bonuses. Alright. Market is normal, nothing weird there. They just have normal traders, as you can see, so nothing unique there. Going towards the units, scouts do have setup camp, by the way. I forgot to say that, so I guess that's another thing that is same as English, so they do have that. In barracks. Now, all 3 of their units in barracks, archer, range, and stables are unique. So let's start with the spearmen. So the spearmen, first thing first that you see is you do not get feudal spearmen straight away like English does. The upgrade, you have to manually get them. So like every other sim. And there's this unique upgrade that is very good, and I suspect it might get nerfed in the future, depending when you're watching this. I'm recording this in April 2025. Spearmen equip tempered bills, reducing armor of the enemies by -2 when attacking. This is both melee and ranged armor. So this is a very, very, very strong upgrade. Now, the reason you don't see how long it takes to research, by the way, is because I have a cheat code in to build everything faster. But this is incredibly strong upgrade. Why is that? Well, because if the enemy rushes castle and makes, like, man-at-arms, that does not work. I suspect that this will eventually be nerfed to -1/-1, because -2 -2 is crazy. Basically, if the enemy rushes castle and they have a bunch of men-at-arms, you can just reduce their armor with each civ poke, or each spearman poke. They're kind of perma-debuffing that unit by -2/-2. You just need to spread them out so they attack individual units. Now, why is this very good? Well, the reason why this is very good is because of their unique archers, yeomen. So they cost 45/45. They have 6 style range, 5 longbow damage, 5 versus light melee infantry, 5 versus light gunpowder infantry. But they do not have, what are they called? They're not called palisades, I always forget. They do not have those little spikes to boink the horsemen. And they do have 131 movement speed, which is faster than longbows. Palings, right? Palings. So they are faster than longbows. So have that in mind. Another thing that I forgot to mention, House of Lancaster, and this is a big one. They do not have network of castles and network of citadels. So they do not gain attack speed when you're near towers or town centers or keeps. Okay? That does not exist for them at all. So why is this spearman upgrade so good? Well, when the spearmen attack and they reduce armor by -2/-2, even on a knight, then these guys can do way more damage. So spearman longbow is kind of their bread and butter, depending on which style you go for. So if we look at the total income right now from 9 manors, which, by the way, 9 manors is extremely expensive, so I don't want people to think that you're gonna have 9 manors in feudal every game. That's like having 3 town centers in feudal every game. Like, it's not very realistic, but if you do get to that point, you will be getting 600 food per minute and 390-ish wood per minute from 9 manors. And their cost total is 1,800 wood and 900 stone. So it is quite a bit. So yeah, next thing. They have an ability, Synchronized Shot. This ability is extremely strong, and another thing that I suspect will get a nerf in the future. Again, depending when you're watching this. Now, what this ability does is it will, I'm going to show you in Castle, but the way that it works, all yeomen will fire into the targeted area, but the way it works is if you have 5+5 damage, that shot will do the bonus damage as well. So if you're shooting this shot at a spearman, it will not only do 5 damage, it will also do the bonus damage against it. But if you shot at a knight, obviously it would only do 5 damage from it. Winston says the damage is slightly different for basic attacks, but it still does bonus versus light melee infantry. Okay, there we go. Now, another interesting thing about House of Lancaster is their cavalry, their horsemen. Hobilars are their unique units, and they are replacing horsemen. They're cheaper. They're 70 food and 20 gold, so they do not cost wood. Okay, they cost gold. So these guys are very, very interesting. They have 3 ranged armor, 7 attack, +7 versus range, +7 versus siege, 100 HP, but they have a charge attack. So these guys basically have like a mini charge that is quite good, and it still does bonus damage against all the things. So look at it like it's not necessarily a mini knight, it's more like a mini horseman that serves a little bit of a different purpose and costs gold instead of wood. 188 is the normal horseman speed, so yeah. So you'll see those guys in a lot of battles, I suspect. They do have little short swords. Their towers are normal, nothing weird about that, just regular towers. Again, no network of citadels or castles upgrades on them. In the blacksmith, we have a unique upgrade for yeomen and spearmen. Equip your yeomen and spearmen with padded jacks, improving their melee armor by +3. So once you get this, your spears and your yeomen will get +3 melee armor. This is an Imperial upgrade, have that in mind. Okay, let's age up. Let's age up. We got the White Tower, and Winston, you can correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure the White Tower is actually the same, right? You can produce stuff from it, and it's just a keep, landmark, and everything else, right? Does House of Lancaster get bonus TC arrow? That's a great question. I would never remember that. They do not get a bonus arrow in their TC. It's not the same, you can produce. Okay, let's go with that one first, and then we're gonna show you College Artillery. I didn't even know this because I didn't get to make it. Okay, so here we go. The White Tower acts as a keep, so it is just a keep. It is just a White Tower. And again, no network of citadels or castles. It does have springle and cannon emplacement. It has boiling oil. But one of the bonuses for House of Lancaster is that whenever you build a keep, in this case, White Tower, you do get Earl's Guard, 3 Earl Guard for free. So there's that. Now, Earl Guards, let's talk about them straight away. They are House of Lancaster's men-at-arms, okay? So, they have a House Unified, which is the same that Demi-Lancers have. And Demi-Lancers, by the way, get upgraded automatically. Because they're a unique unit that you get from the landmark, you cannot get them anymore until later. I'll show you. But they get upgraded automatically. So you cannot build Demi-Lancers in stables. Okay? So they got upgraded and now they're castle version. Now, Earl's Guard have also House Unified, and they do gain 1 damage for each active keep. And because White Tower is a keep landmark, now they have 12 damage +1 because of that. So if I were to build another keep, they will get they should get +2 damage. Oh, they do. I just need to reselect them. Okay, so now they get +2 damage, and because I built another keep, 3 more Earl Guards spawn. So whenever you make a keep, you get 3 Earl Guards, and you can use them to harass or whatever else. So I'm gonna build 4 keeps total, and you'll see their damage. Boom. And now they have 16 damage per hit. Another very important thing is you see this thing right here. This is what they look like, by the way. So another thing they have is dagger throw. Throws a dagger periodically, similar to javelin throwers. They're not activation ability, it is automatic, okay? And their damage right here is 20 dagger damage, and it is obviously a ranged attack. And once you throw it, after a while it recharges and you can throw again. So it doesn't have any bonus damage, but 20 damage is quite high. Yeah, the damage is increased by the keeps, by the way. It's usually 16, but it gets increased. So now, if we get melee upgrades, right, you can see that in Castle Age, these guys are now doing 18 damage flat per hit. Do you actually... Okay, if you get ranged attack, you also get dagger damage increased, okay? Can you show the dagger damage? Let me see if you can throw it on neutral animals, because I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna try now. So that's basically their men-at-arms, Earl's Guard. So they have daggers. They get more damage per keep, up to 4. Okay, here we go. So I'll show you on the board right here. And then they charge in. So that's how they work. Boom. Obviously, if you have more, you throw more daggers, and you can target fire with this. The daggers do quite a bit of damage, by the way. So, spearmen, I mean, once we upgrade them, nothing really changes with them. Yeomen, once they get upgraded, now we get synchronized shot. And the way synchronized shot works is very simple. It's an activation ability. This is the range. The range is quite a bit. I'm gonna pull these sheep all the way there, and I'm gonna show you guys. So the way it works is you just press it and it shoots. I'm gonna get the sheep there so you guys can see properly. And Earl's Guard costs 100 food, 20 gold. So as a normal man-at-arm. Crossbows, nothing unique about them. They're regular crossbows. So that's pretty much it. Now if we upgrade, they become obviously a little bit better. Now, they also have knights, which are just regular knights, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't think I am. They're just regular knights. So the unique units they have, I'm going to just put them over here. They have Earl's Guard. I mean, I would count their spearmen into unique just because of the debuff. I'm going to put a couple of demi-lancers right there. Okay. Now, but this is how the ability works. Let me spread out these guys a little bit. So if I shoot here, you see where the circle is? So if I shoot like this, boom. So using this against units, once you have like 30 of them, is a lot of damage. And the fact that it recharges kind of quickly, I think recharge time is like 40 seconds or 45 seconds. So you can actually go in with like 30, 40 of these, shoot at the enemy army while they're AFK. Think of it like mangonel shots. If you have 20, 30 of these, it's like mangonel shots landing on the enemy army. You can absolutely destroy the enemy army with these. So this is going to be very, very strong. But the upgrade is quite expensive, by the way. I think the upgrade is like 600 resources. I think it's like 175 wood and 425 gold. I think. I might be wrong on the cost, but I think it's around 600 resources. So it is very expensive. Very, very expensive for a Castle Age upgrade. Okay, next thing. What else do we have? I think we covered everything in Castle. I might be wrong, but I think that's kind of it. Okay, I'm just gonna spread these units around a little bit so you guys have a good overview of what's new. There we go. Okay, so Siege Workshop and Monastery. Monks, regular monks, nothing weird, nothing crazy, same thing, same upgrades. In the Siege Workshop, they do have Culverins. So they do not have Bombards, they do have Culverins. There's no unique upgrades here. Now, moving into the Imperial Age. Are you guys ready? You need vision while targeting with synchronized shots. So you cannot shoot it blindly over the forests. We got Berkshire Palace, and we have Wynguard Palace. Now, I'm going to show you Berkshire, because we already explained what Unified is. So, if we put a Berkshire Palace, what it does is it acts as a keep. You cannot produce units from it, just like you cannot from the White Tower. It increases the maximum damage granted by House of Unified to 6. So, I didn't understand this at first. So, you will not get plus 6 damage on the Unified. You will get from 4 maximum to 6. So these guys, if you have 6 keeps, basically, you build it anywhere. If you have, I'm pretty sure White Tower counts as a keep. But if you have 6 keeps, these guys will be having 6 bonus damage. Let me see. Okay, this guy's about to build. Look at that damage, boy. So there you go. Now they have plus 8. Okay. Okay, so the Berkshire does count as a keep. So your bonus goes up to 6, from 4 to 6 bonus damage. So now you're doing 20 damage per auto, which is a lot. Now, that's it for Berkshire. Everything else is the same. Nothing changes. You cannot build units in it. And if we upgrade the Spearman, and if we upgrade the Earl's Guard to Imperial, and let's get all the blacksmith upgrades too. Let's get this. So 3 melee armor for Spearman and Yeoman. So if you look at Spearman and Yeoman, Spearman got plus 6 melee armor. Yeoman have plus 6 melee armor, so quite a bit. Earl's Guard now have 180 health, 23 damage, 31 dagger damage, which is quite a bit. Now, there's a unique upgrade. Earl's Guard are supplied with additional daggers when throwing. These daggers also deal small amount of area damage. Earl's Guard now throw 2 daggers, but are less accurate. So, let's put... I actually didn't test this even. Let's put the sheep here and see what we're dealing with here. I'm just gonna shoot the middle one and see. Wait, did I? Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I didn't even get it. Okay. Guys, listen. I'm tired. Okay, I'm old. Okay, I got it now. I got it now. Okay. So 1 hit and 1 whiffed completely. So, there you go. I'm assuming it's a pretty good DPS increase if there's a lot of units. If there's like 3 units, it's probably not that great, okay? So, that's just my assumption. But Earl Guard seems very, very strong, by the way. Very, very strong. So, yeah. Next thing, Yeoman, once you upgrade him to Imperial, 12 damage plus 9 versus light melee infantry. Hand Cannoneers, they are regular Hand Cannoneers, so nothing crazy about them. Demi-Lancers are now Elite Demi-Lancers, and they do 39 damage per lance, per charge, plus 27, so now they're cranking. And then we have the final form of Elite Hobilar, 15 melee damage plus 12 versus range, and 15 charge damage plus 12 versus ranged. Let's build the rest of the stuff there is. So, first thing we need to build is University, and we can also build Scutage, which is the manor upgrade, and now gives you 40 gold per minute per manor. Boom! And then, if we look at the University upgrades, they are the same. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention. Obviously, Culverins, like I said earlier. But we also have the other 2 summon abilities. Shire Levy. Levy 8 Yeoman, and additional 1 Yeoman for each manor. So again, this is 600. So if you're a Pepega like me, and you're floating resources sometimes, and you're getting attacked, if you have a lot of manors, you can just do one of these, and you get, what, 17 Yeoman after 30 seconds, like that. So this upgrade, I think, is also 30 seconds. The feudal one is 30, so I'm assuming this one is 30, but it might be a bit longer. And you basically get 17 Yeoman, and you cannot use it again. That's it. You cannot use it again. And then the last one, which is the Imperial one, which reads 1,250 food and gold. Like, that's very expensive. You get 1 Demi-Lancer, 1 Earl Guard, and 1 Yeoman per manor. And that you get is this, which is 27 units. So you get a lot of units out. Now, I am pretty sure that's it. Now, we are gonna remake and show you guys the other landmarks. Trebuchet is just Trebuchet. So, yeah. Now, let me show you the other landmarks. I chose the landmarks that are more basic, which is like White Tower and Berkshire, but let me show you the interesting ones. A lot more interesting ones. So, I'm gonna show you... because these 3 are basically, I just showed you 3 keep landmarks. The other 3 are a lot more interesting, and I think are going to be probably a lot better than the ones I just showed you. So, let's get started. Let's build that. Let's age up with Abbey of Kings. So what does Abbey of Kings do? Abbey of Kings heals you, just like normal Abbey of Kings, but what you get is this Chad right here. Lord of Lancaster. That's right, these are his stats. 231 HP, 2 melee, 2 ranged armor, and 16 auto attack. And the first one you get is for free, okay? It's for free. It comes out like a regular English king. What's crazy about this? Grants 5% max health to nearby military units. Stacks with other lords. You can build 4 lords in total, and if you have 4 lords in total in feudal age, these guys have 264 health. Now let's take it a step further. You can see why I think this landmark will be used quite a bit. So, Spearmen and Yeomen, they got 80 health and 70 health respectively. Once we get them to lords, villagers do not get bonus HP, by the way. Once we get them to lords, the spearmen in feudal age have 97 HP and 85 HP, because each lord is giving them 5% health. So if you have an army like this, your whole army will have 20% extra health. This is very, very strong. Very, very strong. Now, this is not infantry only. This is nearby military. The first lord is free, yes. So, I had Dark Age Spearman. The Spearman got 109 health. Yeah, I forgot the upgrade. So, how big is the AoE? Here we go, we'll test. So this guy got 15 bonus HP. So about that, there we go, that's the range. So if you have lords in your army, you will buff your whole army. Now, the thing is, this landmark is strong in feudal. This landmark is insane in Imperial. Price for the lord is 100 food, 60 gold. So, in Imperial, on top of like elite army tactics or biology, you will get 20% extra HP. Now, what I found out during gameplay is these guys, you can use them for harassment. If the opponent is going for like 2TC, you can walk across these guys, walk across the map. Obviously, they're slow, as you can see. Spearmen are faster than them, so they're very slow. But you can use them to harass and then go back to heal. And they are difficult to kill in feudal, by the way, because 2-2 armor, and if you have 4 of them, 267 health. Like, that is quite a lot. But in Castle and Imperial, they become a lot easier to kill because of crossbows and because of hand cannoneers and because of like bombards or culverins. So these guys, if you are playing House of Lancaster, it's very important you keep them alive in feudal, castle, and imperial. Because think of it this way: if you have a massive army like this, when you lose this one guy, you're not just losing 267 HP unit, you're losing 5% HP on all these units, and that is quite a lot. So, Lord builds like a English king does. The first one is free, and it builds. I think it's 25 seconds, and then each next one production time is 25 seconds. So, yeah. Will it buff ally units as well? I actually don't know that, and one of the devs can answer that if they can. Someone asked, do they buff ships? Don't know. We're about to check out. How big is the radius? From here to there. Yeah, there's the range. So whatever that is, 5 tiles, 6 tiles. I'm not sure. Oh, you can hover over the... Oh, okay, there we go. I'm dented. Okay, there we go. That's the... Thank you. Okay. Ships. Whoa, they do get bonus health. I mean, okay, this is like OP if you can use it. So like if you're defending water, what you can do if you're playing on water, you can put lords on the basically like right here on the shore, and then you can fight in the range. Transport, let's check it out. No, does not work. It would be OP as hell if it worked. That would be OP as hell if it worked. Now that would be completely broken. So if you're playing defensive and you're getting pushed, you can put lords on the shoreline, and then your ships will have bonus HP basically. So And you know, if you have 4 of them, I mean, your sprinkled ship goes from like 450 health to 547. So yeah. Alright, next thing. We covered all the other stuff, so I'm not gonna go through it again. We're just gonna cover the landmarks. King's College is a new landmark and is basically like a mini university, okay? So it has 6 unique upgrades, so let's go through them. Number 1. Let me actually build these guys. So these are now Castle Horsemen, okay? So, heal training in rugged terrain increases Hobbler's charge damage by 150% and production speed by 100%. So, their production speed is 15 seconds. If we get this, their production speed is now 8 seconds. And if we get Military Academy, their production speed is 6 seconds. This is without the cheat. You can see how fast they're producing. There we go. So now this is the very interesting part. So now their charge damage is increased. So these are horsemen that are now doing 22 spear charge damage plus 22 versus ranged units. So they do 44 damage if you hit a longbow or an archer or whatever else. But that is an upgrade that is only available from this landmark, and they do cost gold, so have that in mind. Next upgrade is Collar of Asses. It costs 85, 213. Your Knights and Demi-Lancers adorn their armor with the Lancaster livery, gaining +6 bonus damage against armored units. Watch this. So now your Knights and Demi-Lancers have +6 damage versus heavy, which makes them very strong in Knight versus Knight battles or Knight versus Man-at-Arm battles. What I forgot to mention, let's check this out. King's College reduces research costs of all technologies by 15%, which is why you're seeing the weird numbers. All techs are now reduced 15%. Military and economy. So you guys see why the White Tower is not that great anymore. I mean, White Tower is still a keep, so if you go 2 TC, you can go White Tower, but this landmark gives you crazy good value. Crazy good value. So, next one. Warwolf Trebuchet. Experience from building larger trebuchets increases their range by +2 and health by +50%. So if we upgrade that, they get a little thing right here, which is what we saw in the preview on the pictures. So now they have 210 health and their range is increased by 2. So now they have 18 tile range, as you can see. Oop. There we go. Next thing. Burgundier imports. Importing Burgundier hand cannoneers enables hand cannoneers to be trained in Castle Age and reduces hand cannoneer cost by 25%. So hand cannoneers cost 120. Once you get this research, not only they cost 90, but you can create them in Castle Age. Obviously, they're Castle Age hand cannoneers, so they don't do 38 damage a shot, they do 26, but you can build hand cannoneers with this landmark in Castle. And the last one is military tactics training. Now this one is very expensive, as you can see. Advanced military tactics increase your troops' overall effectiveness in battle, improving their bonus by +20%. So what does this mean? I don't know if this works on boats. I'm assuming it does. 45 and 18. Any bonus damage that your units have, so like this, +5, or spearmen, +20 and +4, is getting increased by 20%. So once I upgrade this, all my units' bonus damage This is now from plus 20 to plus 24. This from plus 5 versus light infantry is plus 6. 22. It does work on ships too. It was 45 against archer ships, now it's 54. So the knights had plus 6 versus heavy, now they have plus 7 versus heavy. The hobblars now have bonus 27 damage from 22. So every single bonus damage is increased. Not base damage, but bonus damage. So basically, the units that your units counter get counter harder. Demo ships, I don't know what the exact number is. Trap against building damage? Yeah, it should, no? 420 versus buildings? I think it does as well. And by the way, if you didn't realize this already, the lords also increase siege HP as well. Which is why you can see that this landmark is really good. But, to be fair, again, this landmark is crazy good, right? But, to be fair, 15 crossbows are gonna, or like 20 crossbows are gonna one-tap these. And then you lose 5% HP of your whole army. And you could have had Lancaster Castle in feudal that gives your manors arrow slits. So, yeah. Do lords increase demo ship HP? Yeah, they do. But you have to be near the river, so it kind of doesn't work. Okay, and let's age up with the last landmark. Wynguard Palace. You guys know what Wynguard Palace is, but it is different compared to the English one. The very first one is the same. We build some houses. So the very first one is the same. The classic, like the English. Wait, is it the same? 2 spearmen, 2 crossbows? I thought the English one gives men-at-arms and horsemen. So it's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. I'm pretty sure the English one gives you men-at-arms and a horseman. And a longbow. And a spearman. This one gives you 2, and a treb. Okay. So, Earl's retinue produces an army of 6 demi-lancers and 2 hobblars. So this is 650 food and 200 gold, and you get these chads. Again, demi-lancers do not require any upgrading, so you basically get a raiding army straight away, and this is their stats. Then you have Garrison's Command, which is produces an army of 8 spearmen and 1 Earl's Guard. Now this might be like, oh, that sucks, right? Or it's not that good. But if you look, I want you to pay attention to the production time. 41 seconds, 34 seconds, 19 seconds, 300 food, 150 wood, and you get 9 units, one of them being man-at-arms. Just a man-at-arms is 120 resources. So, yeah, and it doesn't cost gold, true. So you can actually spend this in Imperial Age quite a bit. So this is, again, 19 seconds for 9 units. Boom, right there. And the last one, but not least, is 49 seconds production time. You get gunpowder contingent, produces an army of 2 Ribaldiquins and 1 Culverin. Why is this big? Well, number 1, Culverin or Ribaldiquins will get extra HP, but House of Lancaster does not have Ribaldiquins. So the only way to get Ribaldiquins is from Wynguard Palace, and the only way to get Demi-Lancers is from Wynguard Palace and the one-time click in Lancaster's Castle. So the cost for this is 800 wood, 850 gold. Okay, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I have missed? I mean, I can upgrade the units fully so you guys can see their full stats if you would like to. By the way, once you age up to Imperial, the hand cannoneers will automatically get upgraded. So let me just upgrade every single unit all the way to the end so you guys can see their stats with this landmark, with all the bonuses. Okay, so Spearmen, and I'm gonna show you with 4 kings, okay? Spearmen, 182 health, 6 melee armor, 3 ranged armor, and then we got 16 damage plus 39 versus cavalry, 8 versus elephants. We got Hobblars, which is their horsemen, 220 health, This is the damage. Yeoman got 115 health, and obviously they have... Wait, this... Go. This is their range. Or sorry, their range, their attack. Elite Knights with four lords. They got 410 health. 32 damage plus 7 versus heavy. One thing to note is their lance, aka charge attack, also does bonus damage versus heavy. We got Demi Lancers, which are the other knights. So comparatively, 410 health versus 365. But these guys do get bonus damage per keep. Attack 32 versus 21. And charge damage is almost, well, not really almost identical, 46 versus 39. So Demi Lancers are weaker knights, and they have same armor and same movement speed. Hand Cannoneers, once you're fully upgraded with Lords, they got 158 HP. Mangonels, again, they get bonus HP from the Lords, so something to consider. Your Reboldoquins get 314 HP. And last but not least, we almost forgot them, Elite Earl's Guard. Let me make keep so we make sure their damage is fully buffed. There we go. So with every single upgrade in the game, Earl's Guard do 25... Oh, 24? Okay, if you build keeps, I think at the same time, there's a bug that it jumps to 25, or jumps 1 damage higher and then goes back. 24 damage per hit, 31 dagger. And the incendiary arrows do not work on it, okay? So, and you can miss the dagger. You just saw there, he threw at the deer and it missed. So you can miss, apparently. Oh yeah, ship, all right, true. This is a big one, actually. Thank you for reminding me, chat. Ships of the Crown. Investing in bigger and better ship hulls increases Carrack's damage by 20%, health by 20%, and range by 20%. So needless to say, House of Lancaster will be a very, very, very good civilization for water. Why? Because it has 10% cost reduction on the ships. If you go for this landmark, the upgrades are also cheaper. If you go for the King's College, the upgrades are cheaper. Let me just get all this. You obviously have +1 range from Admiralty. And then in the end, your Carracks have 20% extra range, 20% extra health and damage. So, oh wow, they look cute as hell. Look at that. Okay. And that's it. That is it. Guys, did I miss anything? I think I got everything covered, right? People are asking for Wonder. Wonder is the same. It's the Cathedral in St. Thomas. And by the way, even if you don't go Lancaster Castle, you can still build manors, but they do not have arrow slit upgrade, and they do not get 500 extra HP if you build in a range of Lancaster Castle, but you can still upgrade them to build them up to 9, and you can still get passive gold from them. What's Trebuchet HP? Trebuchet HP with the thing is 166. I'll just make Culverin 292. And I think I have covered everything. I can make a couple of Rams. Ram HP is 540. There it is. So, if you guys enjoyed this one, let me know in the chat below, in the comments below, wherever you're watching. I am going to do everything you need to know about Knights Templar as well. I will also be doing guides for both of these civs, how to play them, build order guides, and everything else. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We're doing subathon right now, depending when you're watching. It's April 2025. Tune in on Twitch. I'm live 24/7 for a while, probably. If you're watching on Twitch, let's keep going with more content.